Hey everyone, it's Julie Hutchison here from Think, Be, Do Leadership, helping leaders to communicate better, get more stuff done, and build the ROI of the people in their business. And do you know what? Today I'm talking about accountability. It is Monday morning, of course, but the theme of the week is accountability. And how do you create that? Because what I see is so many of my clients come to me saying, it's all very well, but I thought I told them what I wanted them to do, but my team don't seem to do it. And they frustration and they don't know what to say and they avoid saying it for a while until they get really annoyed. And then things blow up and we get conflict because we haven't got the people in our team doing the things that we thought they were going to be doing or that they can do, they're capable of doing, but they just don't seem to do. And I wanted to talk about that actually, because there's really three things as to why people don't do what you expect them to do and aren't accountable to the things that you did or thought you asked them to do. And that is that they either can't do it, they won't do it, or as I say, they darn well don't do it. And do you know what? The three things it's a brilliant diagnostic to really understand what might I be doing or not doing that is causing this lack of accountability in my team. Because what we know is that most people come to work to do a good job. Most people want to show up, they want to do a good job, but something stops them. And I think as leaders, what we need to look at is what is it that's stopping out of those three things? And then what do I need to put in place to make sure that instead of can't do, won't do, and don't do, it's can do, wants to, and will do. So let's have a look. So first of all, can't do. What do I mean? Well, maybe they don't have the skill, which is probably the smallest reason, or they don't have the confidence to do the things that you want them to do. Really, probably the confidence to make good decisions in the business. Okay, because really that's what we want people to do. When things come up, when they've got something in front of them, we want them to make a good decision on that. What should I be doing? And to know, well, what would Bob the boss do, or what would Gillian my manager do or want me to do? And so we need people to make good decisions in the business. And when people don't have the skill or the confidence, then even if they like being there, they're just not going to be able to do that, and they're going to keep knocking on your door waiting for some instruction. And so they're going to need pushing rather than bringing with them, let's say. So they're not going to be accountable because they're basically just being parented through it. They're being forced to do it, let's say, and being supported so much that you're having to really be in there and make sure they do it. The next one is they won't do it. What do I mean? Well, I mean that even though they've got the skill and they could make a good decision, they just don't want to. And that's interesting in itself. What is that? Well, that's a people issue. That's a relationship with either you as the leader or with somebody else in the team or the whole team, let's say, because they don't want to do it because they don't want to be there. That might be because there's conflict. It might be because someone's made them feel bad. Hopefully not you. We'll see. But the relationship that you've got, and that means that people just don't really want to do the job, and they might not even recognize that themselves, but they feel bad, so they don't get on with stuff. So they're probably moaning around the water cooler rather than doing the thing. So you think they're getting on with it, but actually they're not. Okay. And then the last one is they darn well don't do. And you're thinking, well, hang on a minute, they're really capable. I've got a really great relationship. Why aren't they doing it? Or why are they doing it differently to the way I thought? They're not being accountable to what I actually said. And the question you have to ask yourself is, did you actually say it? Number one, because what I see so often is that quite often businesses as a whole, leaders within businesses haven't really told people what the plan is. People are like, well, I've got loads of skill, but I don't know how to apply this. So they don't know what the plan is. So they sit there going, well, what do we do next? What do we do next? Because we don't have a direction. It's like going around a roundabout and wondering what direction, which one are you going to get off at, and shouting at your partner saying, what junction do we get off at? You're going nowhere fast because you just go round and round and round in circles. And when you know where you're going, you go fast because you've got the skill, you can drive, but you don't know where you're going, and therefore you can't get there. So is it that they don't know? Ask yourself that question. And if they do know, the next question you need to ask then is, do they want to go there? And you might find that they don't agree with where you want to go in the business, or the department is going, or the way in which they're doing it. Yeah. I'll give you an example. when I left university, one of my first jobs, I thought I was going to go and work with a really nice biscuit factory. But when I got there, I realised, well, not when I got there, but when I got the letter saying, "Oh yes, you're going to be working in the chicken factory department of our business." Trouble is, I was vegetarian at the time. And I'm vegan now. That would be even worse. But I was vegetarian, so working in a chicken factory was never going to be my ideal job. So I didn't want to be there, not because I couldn't do it, not because the people weren't nice, but because I didn't want to do what they want me to do. Okay. And so what we need to know is, have you told them, and do they want to be on the bus with you? Okay. Do they want to go where you're going? And once you know the answer to those questions, and you're going to understand why people, even though you think they should be accountable, aren't accountable to what you ask they are. So they're not being accountable. Now, what I then see is people not wanting to challenge that as leaders, because that's in the too difficult pile of, I don't want to deal with a difficult conversation that I'm going to have given one of those answers. Yeah. And so what I often see is that we're frustrated with the performance. We kind of maybe understand what's going on, but we say nothing until it gets old and hairy and really bad, and then we want to get rid of that person when actually we could have just had some better conversations, or we could have fixed the relationship problem, or we could have fixed the directional problem, or we could have fixed the skills or confidence problem. And so what we need to do is to skill up our leaders to have those better conversations, so that people don't have one of those three things as a blocker to their performance, and therefore you're opening up the confidence, the capability, but also the commitment that that person has, and the collaboration that they have with you and with other people in the business. And when that happens, then people will come to you and say, "Oh, I've done that," or "I've had an idea, I'm going to change that and make it even better." In which case, they're not knocking on your door asking for permission or asking what to do next. They're asking for the next thing, and they're taking you to the next thing in the business. So remember, accountability, if you're getting frustrated that people don't seem to be doing it, we want to look internally and say, what do I need to do to help them to do that? Hopefully that makes sense. If you've got any questions, give me a shout, pop me a DM. And if you've got this issue and you want to sort it out, then let's have a chat. Take care.